This was the moment that protesters poured out to the streets of Seoul in response to President Yoon Suk-yeol's declaration of martial law.
Let me give a quick update because historically something big happened in Korea last night and I've been getting a lot of concerned messages. I actually had no idea that something like this happened until people were texting me concerned and then I was all over the news. I'm not an expert on this situation whatsoever, this is just my observation. So last night, the president of Korea, who is a conservative, declared martial law. And in response to that, the lawmakers who are more liberal voted against that. So martial law, I guess, was in effect for a few hours, but it was overnight while most of us were sleeping. And I think there were protests and stuff like that, but it's gone. It is a really big deal though, because something like this hasn't happened since the 1980s. So I think that's a testament to Korea's institutions in place, and hopefully that's the end of it. I mean, honestly, as an American, I have a feeling we know which country is next to do something like that, but so far everything's good. But I've been walking all over Seoul today. I walked from Myeongdong to Hongdae, which is like a 2-hour walk plus, and then now I'm walking over to Itaewon, and everything seems business as usual. And that's how I lived through martial law in South Korea. If you're new here, my name's Erin, and I'm a travel photographer and content creator based in New York City. Welcome to my channel. It's actually been well over a year since I was in Korea, and I meant to post this earlier, but there was so much to cover since I did so much while I was there that this project just kept getting pushed back. However, I finally have the time to finish it now, so here's how my time in Korea went. This is insane. I have never spent this much at any destination I've traveled to before. When you get a good deal, you get a good deal. I mainly got things like skincare because that's what Korea is known for. And then some other things like I got a pair of Onitsuka Tigers, which I talk about all the time. I finally got the Kill Bill version. Instead of spending like $150 to $200 in the US, I got it here for significantly less than that. First things first, the city is surprisingly foreigner friendly. If I'm being honest, I barely did any planning for my trip to Seoul. As a seasoned traveler, the older I get, the less I plan. I kinda just show up and let the city reveal itself. I think it's more fun that way, and still manage to navigate around very comfortably. Not only that, Seoul's major subway lines connect you to anywhere you want to go, and with English signage everywhere, it's nearly impossible to get lost. I mean, you could still get lost. Skip Google Maps and download Naver or Kakao Maps instead, because that's what Koreans use more. For getting around town, grab a climate card from any convenience store. It's 3,000 won, and I loaded mine with a 20,000 won unlimited for the week, trying to experience a place like a local while still hunting those must-see spots. I can only get away with this because cities like Seoul are incredibly foreigner-friendly and easy to navigate. If it was a less efficient spot without built-out infrastructure, I would definitely put in more effort. Did you know there's a secret spot hidden in Incheon Airport? Whether you're stuck with a long layover, arrive early to Seoul, or need to stay overnight, Spa on Air is a godsend for those of you desperately craving a shower and some rest. It's a jjimjilbang, which is a traditional Korean bathhouse that offers a variety of spa facilities. I kept a tab on this hidden gem because I knew I'd need it since my flight arrived a few hours ahead of my friends. This oasis cost less than $15 to stay at for up to 6 hours. I ended up catching up on a glorious 2.5-hour nap in the lounge area. It was the perfect way to reset before reuniting with my friend and catching the airport bus to our hotel. I have a more in-depth video of my experience here, but I included this because it's what set the tone for my trip in Korea. Now, obviously staying in a jjimjilbang is a temporary arrangement. While Spa on Air is perfect for an early arrival, I needed a proper home base for my week-long stay in Seoul. Initially, I considered booking an Airbnb for the kitchen access, but there is a concern about hidden cameras in Korean Airbnbs, so I decided that staying in a hotel would be a safer choice. As a first-time visitor to Korea, I decided to make Myeongdong my home base. It's right in the heart of the city. This district puts you within walking distance of everything, from mouth-watering street food to endless shopping options, plus beauty tourism. That's how I decided on staying at 4 Points Joseon in Myeongdong. Opened in 2020, this relatively new property struck the perfect balance between comfort and budget, even though Myeongdong generally runs a bit pricier than other Seoul neighborhoods. The location honestly couldn't be any better. This made both exploring the city and getting to and from the airport incredibly convenient. The proximity to everything made this hotel an ideal choice for my first time in Seoul. While there are cheaper options in other districts, the convenience factor of Myeongdong made it worth every penny. For attractions, check out Ikseondong Hanok Street. This place is literally two different worlds. Adorable cafes by day, and then tons of KBBQ spots by night. It's the harmony between old and new here. There are 5 royal palaces in center Seoul, and I decided to go to Changdeokgung Palace, the secondary palace built in 1405 with the secret garden. Entry is only 3,000 won, but there's plenty of free stuff too, like watching the changing of the guards at Deokseunggung Palace or exploring the National Museum of Korea. Bukchon Hanok Village is touristy but worth a visit. It's home to hundreds of traditional hanoks that date back to the Joseon dynasty. It is super touristy, but the view is unbeatable. Just remember, it's an actual neighborhood where people live. The coffee culture here is next level, and you can eat like royalty without breaking the bank. Seriously, the prices will blow your mind. And if you need a break from the city, Nami Island makes the perfect day trip. There are a couple different ways to get there, but I decided to challenge myself using public transportation only. I did seem to get on the wrong train at one point, but was able to course correct and transfer to another train that got me to Gapyeong Station. It was here I learned that the Climate Card isn't accepted because it's outside of the Seoul metropolitan area's coverage zone. I didn't have a Team Money card and I didn't bring cash because I wasn't planning on traveling outside of Seoul. This was a spontaneous decision. Thankfully, my friend who was traveling with me had cash or a Team Money card. I can't remember at this point since it's been a year, but he was able to help me get through and the train attendants didn't give us a hard time. Anyway, from the station, Nami Island is a bit away, so it's best to take the shuttle bus, which is right outside the station, but it only comes once every 30 minutes. Nami Island itself is basically just a manufactured tourist attraction. I thought it was like a secluded park for people to enjoy nature, like places I've been to in Japan, but people really just come here to take pictures because it's popular from a K-drama. I came in the winter, so I wasn't that thrilled to be here, but I could see this being a nice retreat in warmer weather. If you've ever heard the phrase, "you're not ugly, you're just poor," that doesn't apply in South Korea. It's no secret procedures in the US are dumb expensive, so beauty tourism has become increasingly popular. While I was in Seoul, I got 5 procedures in a day. The prices in Korea made it too good to pass up. If you want to watch the full experience and cost breakdown, I have a more in-depth video of my experience doing this. I chose Abiju's Myeongdong location, which came through a genuine word-of-mouth referral because I didn't trust the countless clinics you see promoted on social media with undisclosed partnerships. I scheduled my appointment for the end of my trip so that I didn't have a busted face the whole time. For my first serious venture into advanced skincare, I decided to start relatively conservative. The whole experience took about 3 hours, and they thought of everything. While medical beauty treatments might steal the spotlight in Korea's beauty scene, let me share all the non-invasive pampering experiences I indulged in at a fraction of what it would have cost me in the US. The day after arriving, I went to Seoul to get a collagen facial. It's tucked away in Yongsan's The Prime apartment complex, just steps away from the train station. Next was getting a haircut at Eco Jardin. I hadn't cut my hair in a year because a simple haircut runs around $100 in New York City. Here I not only got a fresh cut but also a color analysis, helping me understand which tones work best for my complexion. A few days later, I also returned to Eco Jardin for a K-pop makeover. I wanted to see firsthand how Korean makeup artists would interpret my features and transform my look. It was fascinating to see their techniques and approach to glamour. The pinnacle of my pampering was at Spa Gogyo. Experiencing this traditional Korean full-body massage was the biggest splurge of my trip. It was pretty obvious I'm no longer as spry as I used to be, as my note card stated I have knots in my traps and lack of hip mobility. And what's a beauty tour without some nail art? I couldn't resist getting a Korean gel manicure. Known for their quirky and creative designs, my Korean nail artist didn't disappoint. The best part, these designs only set me back $40, a price that would have easily tripled back at home. Each service offered a unique glimpse into Korean beauty culture, proving that sometimes the best souvenirs aren't things you can pack in your suitcase. Even with Korea's relatively affordable beauty prices, not every treatment deserves a spot on your itinerary. I also go over which activities I'd skip next time, and more importantly, what treatments actually deserve your time and money in the beauty capital of the world. At the end of the day, Korea's beauty scene is like a massive buffet. It's tempting to try everything, but you'll probably enjoy the experience more if you choose wisely. As someone who's been to Japan, Taiwan, and now South Korea all within a year, I can say I truly see South Korea's soft power. It's kind of insane. If I had to rank them as a destination, like for vacationing, I would rank South Korea first, then Taiwan, and then Japan. Like for me, Taiwan is always going to be number 1 as a place to live. I love the convenience of it, but for a place to vacation, South Korea is definitely winning. For instance, in Myeongdong, going to go shopping, like the night market is pretty intense, like every day. Pretty overwhelming, but in a fun way. I guess in general, it's just overstimulating. You just want to shop and buy things constantly. For some, that might be too much, but if you're up for that kind of stuff, like coming to vacation in South Korea is worth it.